Oh yeah, it's a secret. The secret that we're bringing with us on the trek that's like 5 pounds.
Yes.
It's like, what are we bringing with us that's so valuable? Well, it's a super secret, and it comes from... As you can see here, we're sitting in front of a ton of gear because we're getting ready to trek to the K2 base camp in just a few days. We've been planning this trip since we finished the Everest Base Camp trek just last year.
We did a gear list video for the Everest Base Camp trek, and we learned a lot of things. The K2 trek is a bit different, so there are going to be some things that we changed up.
The EBC, the Everest Base Camp trek, and a lot of other treks in Nepal can be done independently. As an independent tourist, you can go there, grab a permit, and then just go trekking. K2 is a lot different than that. You can't just go trekking to K2 Base Camp. You have to go with a licensed trekking company. A major difference between Nepal and Pakistan is the trekking tourism infrastructure. You can go to Nepal, show up, buy everything you need, and then head out on the trails. Not so in Pakistan. You really have to bring everything with you because from what we're told, there's no guarantee that you're going to find all the things that you need. So, unlike Nepal, we have to bring all of this stuff with us on the plane and then take it with us to do the K2 Base Camp trip. So that kind of leads me into the whole thing. It's just hard to find information. There's not many videos on the K2 trek, not a lot of informative videos at all. In fact, I couldn't even find like a real informative video about like a gear list video or something like that. You just can't find it. There are some videos on the K2 trek, but they're more just kind of, this is my experience, not really a vlog type. There's a couple that are kind of are, but not enough to give information on what you should do or how you should prepare or something like that. It just doesn't exist. It's not like the EBC trek where there's just thousands of videos. I mean, there's so many daily vlogs on the EBC trek, it's not even funny. I couldn't find a daily vlog on the K2 trek. So that's kind of what we're doing here.
So before we get into talking about all this gear, we want to go over what we've been doing to prep for the K2 trek. The number one concern for areas like K2 is going to be the elevation. And right now we're in Texas, we're at sea level, and the K2 base camp is at 5,650 meters. The highest part of the EBC is Kalapatar, which is 5,643 meters above sea level.
Yeah, so most people don't even do Kalapatar. That's a mountain that we did. You can look at our videos. But anyway, Kalapatar is like usually considered the hardest thing to do on the EBC trek if you decide to do it.
Right. And Everest Base Camp itself is at 5,464 meters above sea level.
So we're doing everything we can to get ready for the high elevations, although we're currently at 0 meters above sea level. I think we're -5 or something right in the area that we're at. But we did the same thing last year when we got ready for the EBC. We were in Hoi An, right at the beach, right at 0 meters. And we were doing Insanity Max 30, and we were doing it every day to try to pump up our cardio, which we were doing again. And I don't know if you've ever done Insanity Max 30, but it is brutal. It's called maxing out. It's a 30-minute aerobic exercise that will just destroy you. And there's so many different levels that you can put on it. It's like you can max out like every 2 minutes and then you keep going. You just keep maxing out and maxing out and maxing out. If there anybody out there that can like do this full workout without like taking a break and doing it the way that they do it on the instructors, my hat is off to you, because we've been doing it now for just about 6 weeks. We've done it for 6 weeks before last year, and it's still like just unbelievably brutal. I can't even get through half of it still. Not even close. Another thing that we've been doing, don't know if it really is helpful, but I read some blogs that some people thought it was something that actually improved your ability to take in less oxygen, and that is practicing holding your breath. So luckily, where we're staying right now has a pool. So after our workouts, we can jump in the pool. And every day we've been practicing, just kind of having a game with us and the kids of trying to hold our breath longer. So hopefully that helps. So lastly, me and Amy have been really watching what we eat. We've been doing what is called keto OMAD. That's keto for, a ketogenic diet. And then OMAD stands for 1 meal a day. So we've just been eating dinner. We have carb loaded a couple times, but for the most of the time it's been 0 carbs. So, if you watch some of our videos, we're big bakery fans. We just came from Mexico, big pan dulce fans. So that's been very hard. But, we're like at our lowest weight since high school. So we've been, it's been really good. And plus we just, this is a whole different animal, this K2 trek. We're not, all of our stuff has to come out with us. There's no tea houses on the way. We have to be prepared. Now we have porters carrying things, but they have to carry our accommodations. They have to carry all our food and everything out with them. So we are doing our best to be as prepared as we possibly can. And I can tell you right now, being on keto OMAD this whole time, all that parantha and all the naan and stuff we're gonna get in Pakistan. Oh man, does that sound good? So I just want to point out a few more differences. The boys are older now, and our gear is almost pound for pound the exact same weight as we took on the EBC. We took a total of about 110 pounds, and all this gear right here is about 110 pounds. The difference is that we've gotten better equipment, we've gotten lighter equipment, but since we're trying to daily vlog this, we have to bring a tremendous amount of weight, 30 pounds actually, in camera gear and batteries and that sort of thing, because we have to take so much batteries with us because there's no infrastructure out there. There's nowhere to plug these in. So we have some solar panels, but they only do so much. So we'll have like 16 days without any electricity, 16 days without any internet. That is a big deal.
All right, so since we are going with our boys on this K2 trek, which I haven't seen any families do this yet.
I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean there hasn't. I just know that there's just so little data about it. I haven't seen anything. I mean, there's not even like a daily vlog, let alone families going out and doing this.
Even though we are going with a trekking company, the logistics for this trek have been a lot more involved. But to make it easier, we have teamed up with 4 companies that have sponsored some gear. We approached them and asked them if they would like to, because they really liked what we were doing and that we were going as a family. They just really liked the idea of helping us out.
Yeah, it was so cool because we love their stuff so much. So it was so nice. I mean, no one approached us. We're just a small channel. We're not getting paid for anything, but we got some cool stuff that we'll show in just a minute who it is. Okay, so the big question is who are we going with? We're going with a company. How did we narrow that down? How did we find out what company? I mean, they're in Pakistan. The tourism industry really isn't that big. It's hard to find reviews. It's hard to find a lot of blog posts or anything like that of, oh, hey, we went with this company. I mean, there are some out there, but not a lot at all. So it took a while. I mean, I probably talked about a dozen different companies out there, a dozen decent companies that do trekking in Pakistan. I did talk to some not decent companies as well. So those definitely do exist, and I did hear some horror stories. So it took my time, and I really spent a lot of time talking to these various companies and trying to tell them what we were doing and that sort of thing. And like I said, we're not a big channel or something. It's not like the EBC trek where you can get a vlogger that's got a ton of subscribers or something like that, and then the company flies them out there, pays for their trek, and then they say good things and all that. It's not like that because we are paying for this trek. I talked to a lot of guys, and we basically settled on Abdul Bari from Lost Horizon Treks and Tours. I got a lot of good feedback from others from him, and I've been talking to him for about a year now. So we've really got to know each other. Super nice guy, super knowledgeable, just a guy who's been doing this for about 20 years now. So I feel very good about going with this company. He knows what we're doing. He knows we're going to be filming it. He's excited too because he knows there's not a lot of exposure on this, and he's going to really try to do everything he can to really show a very good experience for a K2 trek. We're actually doing it a little bit more extreme. Like the EBC trek has the Kalapatar that you could go and hike up, and if you look at any of the EBC videos, anybody that actually does do Kalapatar, they'll tell you that was the #1 thing that was the most difficult day, no doubt about it. We are going to be doing Gigi La, Gondagora La, and you got to wake up in the middle of the night and you got to trek through the snow. You have to have crampons on. You have to be tied off with, strings that are tied to the mountain. You're climbing through snow in the middle of the night, and you have to do it in the middle of the night because there's a chance for avalanche. Now, I don't know the science behind it. I don't know if you do it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know, but supposedly you have to go during the night so you don't cause an avalanche. I guess because everything's still cold and the sun isn't up and maybe melting the snow.
Exactly.
Now that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be pretty darn exciting. I know this is a long lead up to talking about gear, but I feel like we just had to get it all out there and kind of give everybody kind of a feel of what's happening here to give them a better idea, because we really want to give a very in-depth series covering our K2 trek. Now, that's not all we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing other things when we get to Pakistan. We have other weeks planned, and we're going to be seeing the cities and that sort of thing. But another major reason we're coming to Pakistan is because way back in February of 2018, which is 18 months ago, not way back, we were, one of our subscribers was talking with him, and a very intelligent guy, and he was making good comments and stuff, and we just got to talking. I'm like, oh, where are you from? He's like, Pakistan. Right? Pakistan was not even on my radar at all of somewhere we would ever visit. It just wasn't. So, but I really like this guy, and I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I'd like to know. So I'm like, so we're in Pakistan. He goes, Lahore. So I'm like Google imaging Lahore pictures, and I'm like, wow, this is a very beautiful city. And here's this really nice guy talking to me. Maybe I should actually look and find out more about Pakistan because, just be honest, being a U.S. citizen, I don't know other countries because I don't live in other countries, but I can just tell you from my perspective, at least where I live in the U.S., maybe it's different, you just don't hear good things about Pakistan. So I'm just like, ooh, yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, do you remember me bringing it up? And it was kind of like, ooh, I don't know. I remember bringing it up to my parents. They're like, oh, I don't know, Pakistan. But then you start looking at it, and then I joined some Facebook groups, and this is before Imran Khan, which is the new prime minister, and he's honestly the reason we're doing it now, because he's opened up the tourism industry. So it wasn't on the radar at all, but I decided to look into it, and I started looking at, and there was no vlogs at that time. Right now there's some vlogs coming out, and mainly because the tourism industry has opened up because of the new prime minister. He's doing a fantastic job, and now you got all these guys coming in there, and lots of videos, and you got like Mark Weens and the Food Ranger and these other big YouTube guys and other vloggers going in there, and you got these great videos coming out of Pakistan. So it was before all that, there wasn't really any YouTube exposure whatsoever. There were some blogs. There's been some bloggers that have been doing Pakistan for a long time, but wasn't on my radar. But we ended up doing some searching because I'm like, okay, this is a serious thing. We need to think about maybe going to Pakistan because this seems like it could be cool. So we got into some Facebook groups and we started to dig in, and we're like, oh, Pakistan's not what we thought it was. Isn't that interesting?
Who would have known? It happens every country.
Yeah, so often. It's just like Mexico, anyway. So you dig in and you look through the mass media bull crap, and you actually see good people doing good things. But anyway, I just want to say that that's the main reason it kind of got on our radar. And then after we finished the EBC trek, we're like, okay, now that Pakistan's already kind of been on the radar, K2 trek definitely seems like something that would be awesome if we could pull it off. But we've been preparing for a year because getting a visa at that time was impossible. We were traveling, you'd had to be inside your country of origin, ship off your passports, probably have to go in for interviews and all this. Imran Khan and his, whole tourism restructuring and his 100-day agenda and all those things has just made it so easy that when we got to the US, we applied, we got our visas basically the next day. We applied, they wanted a couple more pieces of information, we gave it to them, they sent us our visas. It was so simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you ready?
Yeah.
Maybe do the gear, maybe some gear on a gearless video? I don't know. Okay, so our first sponsor is Outdoor Vitals. Okay, so they sponsored us with backpacks and sleeping bags. And we have some 15-degree Fahrenheit sleeping bags, because that's what's appropriate for this trek during the month that we're going. And we also have some sleeping bag liners in here. And these suckers compact, nice, they're light, they're only a few pounds. This is like a new material that they have coming out anyway, so that's Outdoor Vitals. I have no ifs, ands, or buts recommending these guys. I'm so happy that they decided to sponsor us, and not just because of the sleeping bag, because of the backpack. Oh my goodness, I love this freaking backpack. I've never been excited about, well, I'm kind of excited about, I have like a nomadic backpack, really nice. It was like a Kickstarter program. It was a very nice backpack, but these suckers for hiking are just unbelievable. All these guys have ospreys, right? And they love their ospreys, but once we got these suckers in, okay, so these guys, these backpacks are ingenious, and they have a fantastic video, the most awesome, simple video on how to adjust this backpack to you. And it just works out beautifully. And okay, so you have an osprey, you love your osprey, but what do you think about this guy?
I have an osprey, and I really love how it fits on my hips. But the padding on these hip straps are so awesome and cushy. These shoulder straps, I don't think I have ever experienced a shoulder strap with as thick of a pad as these. Yeah, they are very comfortable.
And they have these, and they have like so many different adjustments, but it's not complicated. They have these adjustments that are just perfect. You'd have to see the video, and I'll link it below. But I mean, we're not just going to go through a whole backpack commercial here. But I mean, Outdoor Vitals, if you haven't heard of them, they are a small company. But I'm just telling you right now, if you're in need of a new backpack, and we got backpacks because we need something larger than what we normally carry. Otherwise, we would just use the backpacks we had. We were so thankful that they gave us these backpacks, and we freaking love them. I just can't say enough about how awesome these backpacks are, and I'm so excited to be trekking with these things, because on our EBC trek, we just did rentals, and they fit how they fit. And we had more weight in them than what we're doing, and we were in worse shape than we were before. So this is just so much nicer. So
the only other thing that I really love about them is that they have a side zipper on them, so that you can just open it up, take something out, put it back in. Everything else stays in there where it is when you're taking out and putting back in. Great.
So next up,
Lucky.
Trekking poles. So obviously, if you know anything about trekking poles, Lucky's kind of like the king. So we were very happy that they wanted to sponsor us. When we went on the EBC, we just got some cheap twist lock trekking poles. They barely made it through the trek. These suckers are awesome, and they compact it down. They don't take up much of a footprint, and they're super, super light. The grips are fantastic. I mean, the strap is really nice, and if you use a trekking pole how you're supposed to use a trekking pole, the strap is so important. So big shout out to Lucky for hooking us up with that.
Number 3, Skinners. So these are Skinners. It's basically like a sock with a rubber bottom. We have used these for many different things. We use them as climbing shoes down to Keeling King in Bali, and it was the perfect thing for that, because then we could just use them and jump into the water at the beach.
Yeah.
So you can use them as beach shoes. You can use them for running if you want to. We use them EDC for walking around the camps, because you don't want to wear your boots after a whole day of trekking. So you just slip these on. One of their selling points is that you can walk on Legos with them. They even send you Legos with them to try them out.
Yeah, they're little bitty Legos. They go, okay, try them out.
So you can walk over rocks with them.
Very tough stuff, and we've used them for years, so we were very happy when we reached out to them. They go, oh, we love what you're doing, you know, because Skinner's all about getting out and being active. They'd love to see their, you know, product in the Himalayas, and we'd love to use it in the Himalayas around the camp. So we were very happy they decided to sponsor us each with a pair.
Yes.
It was really nice.
Yes. So, last one, trace minerals. If you have seen our EDC videos, you'll know that we took these on that trek, and we used them mostly for the boys, and we did sometimes also to keep you going. It's kind of like a pick-me-up. It has, it's mostly an electrolyte, but it has some vitamins in it too.
Yeah, like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin, or 1,200.
Yeah,
okay,
1,200.
Yeah, 1,200 milligrams of vitamin C. And it was just lifesavers at times, you know, when the boys were dragging, you know, you got kids, they're like, and then you give them one of those, they're like, yeah. You know, anyway, you can watch our videos. Every single day, we'd be supplying them with this, and just fantastic for hydration, for energy. So we've been using trace minerals for like, I don't know.
10 years?
10 years? Yeah, for a long time. So we were very happy they wanted to sponsor us because we just love them. We always travel with power packs.
Yep. So there's those. And then we saw that they had these on their website. They're called Max Hydrate. One is energy, it has caffeine in it. One is endurance.
It's like a healthy Red Bull or a very healthy Gatorade without all the high fructose corn syrup. The boys have actually been drinking them every morning before the workout, and they're like, oh, I need my Gatorade in the morning, because they're like effervescent tablets. Here, I'm going to show them close. I don't know how that looks. There you go. Anyway, you pop them in the drink, they effervesce, and then they kind of taste a little bit bubbly. They got a lot of vitamins, a lot of good stuff, you know, non-GMO, just a ton of really good quality, mom-approved ingredients.
Exactly.
So anyway, there you go. That's our sponsors. You know, we got some very happy about who wanted to sponsor us. We got a lot of other stuff here that we're going to go into, but we just want to say thank you so much. We really like your products, and we are so glad you decided to give us some.
Yes. All right, so let's get to the gear. So we're just going to go over it quickly. I'm not going to get completely in depth about it, but we will have a comprehensive list that will be posted below. So each of us have a pack of clothing, and I packed it like this so it was easier to pull out of the bag. In here we have 3 pairs of socks, small socks, wool sock, 3 pairs of wool socks, 3 pairs of underwear, a day base layer, and a night base layer. And we also did that when we did the EBC so that we had a cleaner pair to sleep in. So everybody's there. The boys all got shelter hats.
Oh yeah, we love our shelter hats. They have this no flop bill, and they adjust, and they are waterproof, and they float, and they have adjustments there. This thing ties in the back so it's not always bothering you. They have a little Velcro pocket in the top there. I just love these hats so much. They're not cheap, but they are awesome.
Everyone has a coat. Everyone has a mid layer. Here is my wash bag and concentrated soap and a spray bottle so that I can spray onto, because the concentrated soap itself is also a bug spray. It is also organic and biodegradable. Cotton pads as part of my first aid kit.
So the soap, you wash yourself with it, you wash your clothes with it.
Yep.
It's also bug repellent, it's biodegradable, it's organic.
Yeah.
It's called Shakely.
It's from Shakely, yes.
It's a Shakely product.
Uh-huh.
Moms, they wash their babies to their cars.
Yes.
Or something, it's just a fantastic product. So we're going to bring it because you want to be able to wash some underwear and some socks here and there.
Yep.
And then hang it on our backpacks and keep going.
Right. So it's concentrated, so for like 10 products down to 1 bottle.
Okay, it's a small bottle, and also you got the spray bottle because we have these, what do they call these? Tissue coins.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of these so that we can, instead of using wet wipes, we have our soap, add a little bit of water because it's super concentrated, use one of these bad boys, and then we can take our quote-unquote wet wipe shower, and then we can use it for poos, and women can use it to go to the bathroom.
Yes. And these are also biodegradable.
Nice. So we just dig a little bitty hole, stick it in there. I don't know what the bathroom situation is going to be like. I've heard different things. We'll see when we get there.
Yeah. Here are personal hygiene products for women.
Okay.
Okay, so my first aid kit, Band-Aids, Neosporin. This is Dr. Scholl's Formula 2, and we have a little bit of Dr. Scholl's Formula 1.
So those are stoppers and goers.
Yes.
If you've ever been on a trek, you're going to a new country, you could run the risk of having a little bit more fluidity in your bowel system than you want to.
Right.
And that is miserable for being out on the trek, because then not only is it very uncomfortable in certain areas, it is also dehydrating.
Yes. Like I had on the first day of the EBC.
Yes, and that was rough. If it wasn't for those, I can't even tell you. So what is that? So what is a Formula 2? Because that's actually one of the most important things we bring with us.
So the Formula 2 has the activated charcoal, and it has bentonite clay, and it has some soothing botanicals in it for the intestines.
So you get the runs, you pop a few of those, it kind of stops the runs, kind of soothes it up, absorbs any kind of bad stuff in there, and then it goes out like normal.
Exactly. And super glue, you should always have super glue in your first aid kit.
Oh, such a believer in that.
Eye drops, and a hydrogen peroxide in a pumper bottle.
Nice.
All right, we all have buffs, hats.
Yeah, but those are just those aren't just hats. Those are hats. Mine's in the my coat bag.
Yeah.
But these are alpaca wool, hand woven. I guess you can't say
knitted.
woven. Hand knitted by the mama.
Yeah.
So these are, alpaca wool is like 40%, 70%. I don't know. It's warmer than sheep's wool because it's got a lot more air. But these things are so soft and so nice and so warm. And you're also knitting us warm buffs that we hope will be done right before we go. I already have mine.
Yeah. I have mine. I'm in the middle of Aiden's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Some hand warmers if we need them.
Yeah. Well, the hand warmers are mainly for batteries.
Oh,
honestly, because because I have to be able to warm up a battery if I need to in an emergency situation, because cold batteries drain way faster.
Yeah. Cliff bars, mostly for the boys.
Yeah, so they can have a snack per day.
Yeah.
We get 3 meals a day. That's provided for us with the trekking company, but we always want to have a little extra because when you're growing bones, you tend to eat a lot more.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Yeah, so I got tons of camera equipment. I got a hard drive. This is my, I'm not even going to pull it out. It doesn't, it's not that fascinating. But this is a hard drive that I simply just put a micro SD card in. It copies it and sends it so I don't have to keep a computer. And then I can back up. So I have about 20-something micro SD cards or something like that for every possible scenario to double back up my film footage. So I put it on here. When it gets full, I transfer it over to here. Then I got it on a micro SD, and then I got it on a hard drive. And this is called a My Passport Wireless Pro.
Okay, so cords.
Yeah, I got a Osmo Action in there. So we got a drone, we got an Osmo Action, we got an Osmo Pocket, we got my Removu cameras. We got 2 of those that are coming just in case one goes down.
Yeah.
And then we also have Aiden's DSLR.
Yes. Here are 2 of the solar chargers.
Yep, we also got another one. And because the solar chargers, they had to be modified with my handy sewing work to clip on a bigger battery because they only carry small external batteries. But here we have these massive external batteries that we're bringing with us, and we're bringing 6 of these bad boys.
So headlamps, extra batteries.
Yep, so we got a headlamp for all 4 of us because doing Gondagora Law, you're going to be in the middle of the night. You have to have some sort of light, and then Plus, you know, in the middle of the night, you got to go to the bathroom. It's nice to have a headlamp.
Yep.
And then, I want to show this thing. So this is a charger for my drone batteries, because you can't just use an external battery. There's a different voltage. So you have to have a specialized charger. So this will charge at least 2 batteries worth, because, you know, there's no charging out there and we got to get enough footage. And then more camera stuff. There's the drones. There's the other camera gear all up in there. Then we got...
There's the vitamins.
Vitamin bags. We got...
tissues for each person, deodorant, chapstick, nasal inhalers, nose coat. Here are the trace mineral effervescent tablets, little personal containers of the
tissue coins.
Towel coins, tissue coins, whatever you want to call it. SteriPen, just in case.
To purify water.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if we'll need it, but we had it left over from the EBC track and doesn't take up much room, so we're going to bring it.
Yep. The batteries as before. Gloves, gaiters. I brought for myself some knee brace because my knees were killed on the EBC.
Yeah, going downhill.
Yeah, I can't take the downhill. Rain ponchos in case we need them.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's really not much more than that. So, anyway, that's it. There's our stuff. B-Man, what do you think? Think we're prepared?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff.
I think we're prepared.
But it's less because there's 110 pounds of stuff, which is the same as EBC. However, the company is going to be carrying about 30 pounds of that. So we're actually down 30 pounds where we don't have to carry. Plus, you're 5 times stronger than you were.
Oh yeah, and plus the new backpacks are gonna be a big help.
Oh, well, so tell me what you think about those backpacks.
They're so comfortable. I have maybe, how heavy is my backpack?
Your backpack's going to be, I think we got it down to 15 pounds.
So my backpack is 15 pounds, but with the Outdoor Vitals backpack, it feels like maybe 1 pound on my back.
It's so comfortable, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, well, so we're ready to go, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more thing.
Oh.
There's one thing that we haven't said, and I actually covered it up so you couldn't see it.
I forgot. Oh, yeah, this thing right here. Oh, yeah, it's a secret. The secret that we're bringing with us on the trek that's 5 pounds.
Yes.
It's what are we bringing with us that's so valuable? Well, it's a super secret, and it comes from...
Mexico.
It does. Anyway, it's a super secret. We're bringing it on the trek. You'll have to watch the videos to find out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later. Bye, Aiden. Where's Aiden? He's in his room. Okay. All right, later.